going to go ahead and talk about the properties of kites today, and they're all listed right here. And then we're going to mark these properties on the shape right here, okay? Two pairs of consecutive congruent sides. So which sides on here look like they might be congruent? The two tops. Okay, since they're next to each other, those are consecutive. So that is congruent to that. So if this were 10, this would be 10. Okay, and then the other two consecutive sides are the two bottoms. So those are congruent to each other. Instead of in parallelograms, it was opposite sides, right? This one is consecutive sides, so next to each other. Okay, diagonals are perpendicular. So that means the diagonals make, what does perpendicular mean? Right angle, thank you. Okay, so these guys make right angles when they cross. Now, are the diagonals congruent to each other? No, but when they do cross, they make 90-degree angles. Okay, so we've done the first one, the second one, and one pair of opposite angles are congruent. Okay, so one pair of opposite angles. It's actually these. This angle is congruent to that whole angle there. So it doesn't mean that the top is congruent to the bottom angle here. It means the whole angle is congruent to that whole angle. Okay? That was a really bad arc, wasn't it? Okay, and one pair of opposite, okay, we did that one. One diagonal bisects the other. So one diagonal, this one, bisects this one. So that means these two side links here are both what? Congruent. Good. So we're going to mark these. That is congruent to that. Okay. And the last thing is one diagonal bisects one pair of opposite angles, which are actually the top and the bottom. So this angle here is congruent to the right side. So because it bisecting means it cuts the angle in half. So it's cutting this angle in half. It's also cutting the top angle in half. So that angle up there is congruent to that angle. So if this were 20 degrees, this one would also be 20 degrees. If this were 15, this would also be 15. Okay? So those are the properties of a kite. So we're going to take those properties right now, and we are going to fill in these blanks here. Now it's not asking for values, it's just asking for what would PQ be the same as. PQ's length would be the same length as what other segment? RQ. Very good. Okay, yeah, good question. T is actually supposed to be in the middle. T is that intersection right there. So go ahead and mark that on your kite. Okay, PT, so this guy here, this short little guy, what is that congruent to? RT, good. PS. Which one? RS, good. The measure of angle QPS. QPS. So that big angle right here, what would that be the same as? QRS. So the measure of angle QRS. Very good. Okay, the measure of angle PQT. PQT. So if you go back up here, that would be this angle here. What is that the same as? The one right next to it, right? RQT. Measure of angle RQT. Okay. The measure of angle PST. PST, this bottom angle on the left, is the same as RST on the right. Good. Oops. There we go. Okay, so QTP QTP. What kind of angle does QTP make? Yeah, it makes a right angle. And it's also equal to 3 other angles, and see how it's equal to 90 at the end? So what are the other 3 90-degree angles on here? QTR. Okay, measure angle QTR is 90 degrees, which is this guy. Okay, RTS. Great. Could you have said STR? Yes. And then what's our last one? STP or PTS. Okay. Okay. Any questions so far about kites? Pretty easy? Awesome. All right, moving on. Oh, there we go. Okay. Not being very nice. There we go. Okay. Given JKLM is a kite, and given that JK is congruent to JM, and given that LK is congruent to LM. Okay, so that's a lot of givens. So it's already marked on here. What else do we need to do with those givens? Mark them on the picture, okay? So we don't have to mark that it's a kite, but we do need to mark that JK is congruent to JM. Yeah. And we need to mark that LK is congruent to LM. Okay? We have the reason reflexive property of congruence is our next. What is reflexive in this shape? Yeah, remember reflexive, it means something is congruent to itself, right? So JL is congruent to JL. Okay, it's congruent to itself. So why would the top triangle, JKL, be congruent to the bottom triangle, JML? Yes, look what's marked. Side, 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 side. So the reason that these triangles are congruent are SSS, or side, side, side. Now, since we know the triangles are congruent, why can we say that angle K is congruent to angle M? Yeah, since we have congruent triangles, all the parts are congruent. CP, CT, C. So that was a pretty easy little proof. Any questions? All right, let's keep going. Wait, yeah, more back. Can I get to it? That's the next question. Okay. All right, example 2. Now we actually have some values, don't we? Okay, PQ is equal to 5. So this is 5. So what is QR? It's also 5. Because these two are congruent, right? Okay, PR, the whole distance across is 6. So what would PT be? Yeah, you're just cutting it in half. So this is 3, and then this one would also have to be 3. So PT is 3, but now it's asking for QT. QT is right here. Oh. Do you see this triangle right here? You see that? So yes, it is a special triangle. It's a triple because this is 3, this is 5. What is this?
4.
Yes. What if you didn't know the triple? You could do 3 squared plus, we don't know what our b is equal to 5 squared. And you would get x squared equals 16. And then square root that, get you 4. So this height right here is 4. Because you know that's a right angle, right? The diagonals bisect to make a right angle. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and, on mine, I'm going to erase all these links because now we're going to talk about the angles. Okay. So measure of angle PST is this guy down here at the bottom, is 30 degrees. Squeeze that in there. So if that's 30, STR, what's that angle? That's 90. What's the measure of SPT? Where's SPT? Okay, so it wants this angle here. How are we going to find that angle? So we know this is 30. If this is 90, then that's 90. This angle has to be 90. So now we have this right triangle here. Yeah, we have a 30, 90, and what does that one have to be? 60. Because it has to add to 180. Okay? Okay, now we have the measure of angle PQR. PQR. Okay, so this whole angle up top is 70. The whole angle. So RQT, just half of it, this part of it, would be how much? How much? 35, good. And QRT, okay, so now it wants this angle. Okay, so how are we going to find that angle?
You add plus subtract.
So this angle right here is 35. We don't know this angle, but we do know this angle. What is it? 90. So how do we find the angle that we don't know? 90 plus 35 is what? What's 90 plus 1? What's 90 plus 35? 125. And then what do we do with that? Yeah, subtract from 180. And we get, that angle right there is 55. So any questions on this? Okay, so now it's saying you try. So I'm going to give you a few minutes. I want you to mark this information on your kite and then see how many of these you can fill in. Okay? All right, so we're going to label angle CDF. CDF. So that angle right there is 52. A CAB. CAB. This angle here is 30. And BD. Where's BD? BD all the way across is 72. So what would each of these pieces be if all the way across 72? So this would be 36 and this would be 36. And then FC, this little guy, is 15. Okay, so what do we know always these angles are here in the middle? 90. Okay, those are always 90. And we know this angle here is 52. So this angle over here is also 52. So how can we find both of these angles? Yeah, 52 plus 90 is, what is it? 142? And then subtract from 180. Okay, so both of these angles here are 38 and 38. Is that, which one, does that answer any of these? BCD. Oh, BCD is 38 and 38 together, which is 76. Good. Okay, ABC, this whole angle, okay, we gotta, we have this part is 52. We need to know what this angle is. How can we find this angle? 30, 90, it's got to be 60. 30, 60, 90, right? So that one has to be 60 over here as well. So this whole angle ABC is the 60 and the 52 added together, which is
112.
Okay, 112. Thank you. I think people said it. I just couldn't hear it. Okay, and the measure of angle FDA. FDA. We've already found that. What is that? 60. Good. You just add the 60 and the 52 together, right there. Equals the measure of ABC. Because the 52 is the same as the 52 from over here, and that was given to us. And the 60 came from, this was 30, this was 90, so that one has to be 60. Okay? All right, now side lengths, FB. FB we already found. 36, this was half of the 72. And then BC, okay? We're going to have to use what? Yeah, because we have this triangle here. We have 15, 36, and we don't know what our C is. So 15 squared plus 36 squared equals our C squared.
Or 1,521.
1,521? Okay. Square root it. So it is, what is it? 39. So if this is 39 out here, and this guy over here also has to be 39. Very good. Okay, find the missing values for the kites below. So we're missing angle 1, 2, 3, and 4. Well, angle 1's nice and easy. What's that?
90.
90, always. Okay. So we have angle 2, angle 3, angle 4. We have 5 angles, don't we? Okay. Actually, 5 down here is pretty easy, because if this one's 62,
And it's 62.
then the other one is 62. Okay, so these are all 90. So if we have 90 and 62 right here, can we not find angle 4? By doing what? 90 plus 62, 152, and then subtract from 180. What is it? 28. So 4 is 28. Okay. Should also make this guy over here 28. All right. So how are we going to find 2 and 3? Adding, what do I add? Yeah, here's this triangle. 90 and 55 is what? Ooh. 90 plus 55 is 145. And then subtract from 180 is just 35, not 135. So this one is 35. So if 3 is 35, then 2 is also 35. Good. We're going to do this last one here, and then we're going to go ahead and get our homeworks. Okay. What is this angle pointing to?
The 90 degree.
Yeah, you're 90 degrees. So how will we set that up to solve? Good. 6x plus 6 equals 90 degrees. So this one's nice and easy. We're only having to find one value, x. So how would I solve? Subtract 6 from both sides. So 90 minus 6 is 84. Divide by 6. So what is x? 14. All right, any questions on kites at this point?